everyone, it's Keely. Today I'm back with another Speedpaint video. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I want to start out this video with talking a little bit about the materials I used. So to start out, I used my Canson Watercolor Sketchbook in size 9x12, these Royal Taklon brushes, Higgins Waterproof White Ink for the highlights, this Col-Erase pencil in rose, a Blick Studio watercolor paintbrush, and my watercolor palette that is from Blick's and is filled with Winsor and Newton Cotman watercolors. So today, instead of just doing like a regular old speed paint, I wanted to do something that incorporated some amount of, audio, I guess, and so I thought the best way to do that would be to answer some of your guys' commonly asked questions and just to see if I have maybe a little bit of advice to share with you guys while you watch this. So I asked on Instagram for any questions that you guys might have, and I got several. So if you have a specific question or a topic that you would like me to talk about in the future, I always ask for ideas on my Instagram page, which is at Keely.Elle. And so if you guys want to contribute there, that's probably the best place to catch a hold of me if you're looking to have me, discuss something that you're particularly interested in or wondering about. So the first question comes from someone named ML Keebler, I think is their username, I'm not really sure. They wanted to know how I keep my drawings fresh and new. Also, where do you find yourself drawing inspiration from? So as far as keeping my drawings fresh and new, I have and always have had an interest in fashion and design. I, for a really long time, actually contemplated going to design school. School never really ended up being my thing, but I've always been super interested in it, and unfortunately, as a plus-size person, I usually feel like I can't really find anything that's super fashionable to wear, but I really like drawing it. So what I like to do to keep my drawings fresh and new is I like to stay updated with what's in style. I'm really interested with that sort of stuff. I find a lot of outfit inspiration on Pinterest, and Pinterest is also somewhere that I just go for general inspiration, all around. I go for portrait reference, I go for pose reference, clothing reference, color scheme ideas, all that sort of stuff. There's all sorts of good stuff on Pinterest if you know where to look for it. So just be creative with your searches and you'll probably be able to find some pretty inspirational stuff depending on what you're looking for. So yeah, I guess that answers both parts of that question. The next question is from slightly.nefarious. How to gain an audience for your artwork, maybe? Okay. So how I gained an audience for my artwork is through Instagram, which I'm sure a lot of you guys know. I gained an audience because I had a personal Instagram, and I started posting some of my drawings on there, and I've always loved to draw, which I've said before in other videos. So it wasn't really but it just wasn't something that at the time I was pursuing super avidly. So every so often I would doodle and I would post a picture of it, and I would notice when I would tag things like art or drawing or girls, I would get a lot more attention. That sounds really bad, but I would notice more likes and people commenting that weren't people that followed me, and I thought it was really interesting, so I started drawing more. Well, I mean, I had already been drawing tons at this point, but I started posting more, and I noticed just more and more people becoming interested. And so as I kept posting, my audience kept growing, and at this point I started finding other artists on Instagram, which this was a complete accident. I just happened to find these people searching through the artist tag, or art tag or drawing tag, and I realized that they had gained their audience doing what I was doing, and so I just kind of kept at it. I engaged with people. I posted consistently. I posted every single day, and I still try to post every single day. I Another good tip for growing your audience on Instagram, particularly, I can't speak much for other platforms, but another good tip is to possibly draw people who have large accounts, like a large following on Instagram, because this is really good practice for drawing from life. It gives you, it helps you out with that a lot. And also, a lot of the time, they're usually like really flattered to have been drawn, and so they want to share your artwork. And in turn, that exposes your artwork to, tons of people. I wouldn't say that you should draw only to gain attention from, draw these people for attention, but if you happen to find someone who's particularly inspirational, just be aware that that's like a possibility. A lot of people, when they're drawn, they do like to share that artwork, which is super cool. And that's another good way that you can start out. You can go through, and I think Happy D Artist talked about this too as well. You can go through art sharing pages. I never personally went through an art sharing page. I have had my art shared by those pages. I think I maybe tagged them a couple times, but those particular pages were never the ones that shared me. When I got shared through them, it was just because they found my artwork and they liked it. But that's actually a really great way to get noticed. So if you're really looking to grow your audience, that might be an avenue you'd want to pursue. So yeah, on Instagram, those are probably just a couple good ways to get noticed. The next question is, any advice for creating a color scheme? My best advice for creating a color scheme would be to work with colors that you particularly enjoy. In this drawing, for instance, I worked with yellow ochre, leaf green, and Prussian blue. And these are three of my absolute favorite colors, especially Prussian blue right now. I can't get enough of it. And that's probably a really good way to start, but you can also look at the color wheel and work with like complementary colors. Again, on Pinterest, you can find pre-made color schemes that you find particularly interesting or inspirational. Also, if you find possibly a photo online that you really, really like the look of, take a long, hard look at the colors that are in the photo, because there's a very good chance that that's part of why you like that photo so much. But basically, if you're drawing something that inspires you and that you love and using those colors, you're going to really enjoy it. I could make a whole video on this. Color is a very complicated sort of thing sometimes. So if you want to see that, just comment below and let me know, and I'll talk about that in the future. So thank you everyone so much for watching this video. I really appreciate all of your likes and comments. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. You can buy my art in my Etsy shop, which is linked down below, as well as all the materials I used today. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and have a good one. Bye guys!